by the way. Kwa deadbeat ni cheap, by the way. Do you know how cheap it is to be a deadbeat?
It spends nothing.
Just walk away. Unapotea tu mitini. Think I'd care. Rama doesn't take care of his kids. You think I care?
Hi everyone, welcome to the Crib Shit. I am your intermediate host for the day. My name is Wambui Mirore. And today I am here with Chim and Rama. And we want to discuss the co-parenting journey. Now, as many of you know, if you've seen the podcast before, Chim and I are co-parenting. And we just wanted to get a take on what it is like to co-parent from the other side. So let's start with you guys. Just introduce yourself briefly for the sake of our guests. Chim.
Hi, best behavior. Deko Ram. My name is Chim Chimwani Hasiani Chitai Obiajulu Nwasante. Son of his mother, first of his line, strongest of his bloodline. I co-parent with, I call her Siju. We have a son who's 10 and a daughter who's 7. The daughter takes after me. She has quite a mouth on her.
Yeah.
Today, I'm here to talk about being the father of a daughter.
Hi everyone, my name is Ramzzy. I don't have a long intro like Chim. But I'm here to talk about co-parenting as somebody who is currently doing it. I've been doing it since I started parenting. Yeah. From day one.
From day one, you started co-parenting or parenting?
Yeah, I was a co-parent before I was a parent.
Oh, nice. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so I think the best place to start is just from the beginning. Just tell us your journey. The co-parenting and now the parenting and yeah.
Okay. So I dated a single mom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And me and Chim were having a conversation before. So
on that experience?
I was just telling him, like, I don't know, are we allowed to curse on the pod?
Yes, you are.
So I was telling Chim how, I dropped all my hoes for a single mom. And a lot of people couldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm. You being included? Okay.
Yeah, when you say nimetoka soko and then you talk a soko with someone
and
who's already has a toy.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a testament of the fact that I don't really listen too much to what people have to say about my own decisions.
Yeah.
So I made the conscious decision. When I met her, I didn't know she was a single mom.
Mm-hmm.
But then, as they say, when you like someone, you like them with everything they come with. Yeah.
Can I just ask how long did it take before you discovered she was a single mom?
Maybe a couple of months.
A couple of months, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A couple of months. She was nice.
She was nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
She was hot, kind of.
I was actually telling him it stays true to like who you saying that when you buy the cow,
you buy the calf, yeah. Yeah.
How do you say it in Kikuyu?
No, I can't say it right now.
Yeah, there's a saying like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's my story. That's how I started.
Okay.
Yeah, straight from the soko into
parenting.
Yeah.
Okay,
not parenting per se, because I would say, you see, the thing about parenting, and I've experienced parenting in different phases, it's very easy to parent someone who's like
older.
Not easier. It's easier, not easy. It's easier to parent someone who is not a toddler.
Yes.
Yeah. So when they're independent, they can go outside and play by themselves, and they can speak and say what they want. Mm-hmm. It's a bit easier than starting from.
They don't drive you as crazy. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's where you went.
That's where I started.
You started.
Yeah.
And where are you right now?
Right now, I'm a father of 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
You added 2 more.
A single dad of 3.
But unajirudisha soko, okay?
Nani? Sasa si soko. Soko watu rudi na mgongo kama devil worshippers. Unatoka na kifua alafu unarudi na mgongo kama devil worshippers.
No. Okay. Pause. I was also telling him, honestly, he is what women usually look for when they talk about single fathers. He has the whole salt and pepper thing going. You sound debonair, you sound mature.
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll
Now
still come
confused
for me
by
to
Sana.
ruin their future.
Right now, the women who talk to me like they want something out of,
It's because you're a dad.
because I'm a dad,
Yeah.
and then it's the range is crazy. It's 23 to 43. That's like 2 generations.
Yes, but you're responsible.
Women and their mothers,
Oh God, Jesus. No, like you're responsible, and so that's what they're looking for.
I honestly speaking, when we broke up, that was one of my fears. Like, how do you start life again, afresh? And I was hearing stories. A lot of my friends, guys, were laughing and like, "Hey, bro, right now, one good baby is better than 1,000 hoes."
That's a Kanye line. One good is worth 1,000.
Yeah, so it was very nerve-wracking in the beginning, but who knew? I didn't know responsibility was such a sexy thing to women.
That comment?
No.
Being a responsible
No,
man
I am
and
not
just
coming. I
taking
am
care of your
not
stuff.
feeding this monster today.
Yeah.
So let's take it. You've just made the decision that you're splitting up,
Yeah.
and so did you move out?
Yes, I did.
You'd moved out.
No,
Okay.
actually, how do I say it?
You left your home and house.
No. I was supposed to,
Okay.
and then the way things played out, she had to move back to Nairobi. So I was left in that big house.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then,
In Malindi, yeah?
yeah. I was left in a villa in Malindi because I was like, bro, you know what?
Then why are you here?
I see money. You go where the money is.
Okay.
You see, there's not a lot of business in Malindi,
Malindi,
like
yeah.
Nairobi. So
Yeah.
you have to always come back where the money is.
Yeah.
Especially as a creative, you have to go where people can spend so that you sell your stuff.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to move out. It didn't happen on time because I wanted to move out into a pay-to-rent apartment, same Malindi, but I lost the apartment because of the, logistics. You have to panga yourself. And so she came back to Nairobi with the kids. I stayed there, I think, for a month. And then I was like, this house is too big. I need to find a place that's just for me.
you,
It felt
yeah.
a bit lonely. And also, because, it's very different when you're used to having a family and then all of a sudden you have a
yeah.
big house and it's quiet and you can't do the stuff you used to do. So for the process, you need to healing for the process and to feel like I'm starting life afresh. I moved into
a smaller house for
a
yourself.
smaller house.
Yeah.
I moved into it. Yeah.
Did she move with anything or everything?
I gave her everything.
You gave?
I let her go with the furniture, from the beds,
May I recall someone?
So I let her go with everything because
I was left with one plate and one spoon.
Yeah. So I started life like a bachelor. You know how you move into a house, you have your mattress,
Yeah.
and you have your 2 mangoes, and I actually everything. From a 4-bedroom villa, when I moved into a duplex, I safirished everything with a pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, but I made the conscious decision as well in Malindi to move into
a smaller house.
a furnished
A furnished house. Okay.
I didn't want that experience of starting on the floor. You have to buy a bed.
Yeah.
You have to buy a meko. You have to I was like, bro, hapo sasa ndio utawai heal. Utakuwa unabuy kitu ukikasi. Fuck, nilipeana kuka, nanunua kuka tena. Fuck, nilipeana sijui microwave, nanunua no, I was like, Z, you guys, you need to heal. So you need to move into a furnished apartment.
Plate, spoon,
Unachiwa moja manzi.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're lucky uliachiwa. But
yeah, so from disappointments of being left with a plate, actually it was a plate, a spoon, a mattress, and a water tank. Ilikuwa kwanza ya roto, 100 liters. Yeah.
that was generous, but okay.
It wasn't generous. You couldn't fit them. You couldn't fit them on. It was pickup. You couldn't fit them. But I mean, it was deserved, but still heartbreaking.
Okay, so Rama, you're here first night alone
Yeah.
in the house.
Yeah.
How is that for you?
In Malindi.
Yeah.
What happened? I think I threw a bash. There was a pool outside.
Okay.
I had you see the house I was living in, the villa I was living in had an inside area
Yeah.
and an outside area for the guests.
Okay.
And I had homies in Malindi already. So I was like, you guys, pull up. Niko peke yangu niaje, because I didn't want to spend the night alone.
Alone. Okay. Yeah.
Hey, stay
So I
tuned.
called guys, we swam in the pool, we drank, we had fun.
Yeah, it was a good night.
It was a good night.
So when did reality finally hit? 'Cause
Hold on. Before you move there, did you chipo?
No,
On that night you didn't chipo?
no.
You're a
Okay.
better man than me.
No, I didn't chipo because I was also very wary of the fact that so I didn't want to I didn't want to put myself in a position where it felt like I was doing things to avoid the emotions I'm feeling. Actually, I wanted to embrace those emotions. You want to say you can only go through a tunnel
yeah.
confidently if you can see the light at the end of the
side,
tunnel.
yeah.
Even if it's a tiny light, you'll walk through. You'll be like sinipale tu na. That's where I'm supposed to go.
Yeah.
So I was now in the process of beginning walking through that tunnel.
Tunnel.
And I could see the light uko mwisho ni kadogo. Yeah.
Okay. So I guess what I would be asking was, when did reality finally hit home? You know, after you threw the bash and
See, the thing is, you know, when relationships end, they don't end on the day you say it's over.
No, they don't. No.
They don't end on the day it's over. By then, when my ex was moving out with the kids, it was around Feb. We had broken up in January. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
we had broken up in January. So for those 30 days, mimi nilikuwa naishi wing ile a guest had a standalone how on the side. I still could see my kids. I
every
had
day.
access to the pool. I could eat. I could do everything. It's just that we were not sleeping in the same bedroom. Yeah.
No, but so if we're addressing that a father is being a parent
Yeah.
involves three things usually: presence, provision, protection.
Yeah.
So now presence has been taken away from you.
Yeah.
So how do you cope with that? And how, even in the coming days, how do you go to ensuring that your kids know that you're still present?
I would say Delulu actually helps. You know when people say delusion?
Delusions, yeah. Delulu.
Yeah, delusion actually helps because Delulu will make you creative. So I started thinking of myself as, you know, there's a lot of kids who have parents who work abroad. So you only see your dad or your mom
Once a year.
once a year or twice a year. If maybe they work around the region, if it's, I'm giving someone an example of if you work for the UN, maybe always in Somalia, always in Ethiopia. So you see your kids maybe once a month or twice a month. And I started telling my kiddos, hey, you know what? I'm staying behind for work. And I'll be visiting every once in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That
That's-
definitely prepared them.
That was a segue for me. They didn't like it,
Of course.
obviously.
Yeah.
And I was very present as a dad. I remember, like, especially for my son, the middle child. He's known me, like, he had to that point he had seen me almost his entire life. Because when he was born, I was freelancing. I started the work from home thing as a freelancer before it was a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I had my own office when I was living in Nairobi. The SQ was my office. And this kid would see me every day because we were homeschooling and all that type of stuff. But, you know, that transition, I didn't want it to affect him. And I think it did to a degree because when he came back to Nairobi, I started noticing things, and I still have things to course correct because I started noticing this kiddo now is chewing his fingers. So
Sign of stress. Yeah.
sign of stress. He's chewing his fingers.
Let me ask you though, how did it affect you?
I would, as a person,
Because you've gone from being ever present to seeing them every other day to every other week, every other month.
you know, I thought I was okay But sometimes I look at the stories I was creating when I was alone, and I could tell mse ulikuwa umejiachilia hapo, you know.
Okay.
Ulikuwa umejiachilia, like my hair was,
Okay.
my
okay.
ndevu was up to this, because the purpose bit of it is what I had to remind myself. Like, who are you as a person outside of fatherhood? Because a lot of us tend to we define ourselves by stages of life,
Yes.
instead of, you know, what are you chasing as a human?
Yeah.
You know, if someone asked you to describe yourself and you said, I'm a father, I'm a mother,
Yeah, it's
then
usually...
they asked your kids to define themselves, and the kids say, I'm a daughter, I'm a son. It would sound so weird,
Yeah.
but why would you do it as an adult? I have things I do. I have things that are about me that don't include fatherhood.
Yeah.
It says me as a person is me. Fatherhood is just something I do because that's a stage of life and it's present, continuous. So it's not a point of defining myself at TCG, I'm a dad. No. I'm Rama before I'm a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that to me was what I had to remind myself.
Okay. So I'm sure people...
Can I ask one last question?
Okay.
Have you had to deal with missing milestones?
That's one of the reasons I broke up. Actually, no, I get your question. I have had to deal with that.
Okay.
Missing milestones, like things like my, you know, I was there when my kiddos joined school in Malindi. So I got that first day of school. When they came back to Nairobi, and the first day of school, I was in Malindi. So I couldn't show up for everything. So I missed a couple of milestones in that year, I'd say year and a half. Because also divorce, people don't tell you, so I wasn't married, but separation.
Yes.
I don't call it divorce because divorce is legal. Separation really, aside from the emotional side of it and the mental part of it, financially it fucks you up as well. Because the things I would have used to invest, the money I got that year that I would have used to invest, maybe buy a motif, start a business, I spent it on starting from scratch. So furnishing my house, getting the basics, making sure my kiddos have a room for themselves when they come to visit me. That's how I was spending the money. Everything I was making in that 1 year after we broke up was going back to me rebuilding myself from scratch. So I was very bitter in that 1 year.
Okay.
I was very angry.
No, it's okay. So you've spoken about the separation.
Yeah.
Was it acrimonious? Because I'm sure people see Chim and I sitting here together and they can think like...
It's Chim.
Chim, fine. People will be like...
You guys are still together.
No, we're not together. Hell no. But we talk and we are friends.
Yeah.
But
Very
it was from a very long process. Not acrimonious, but it was a long process.
There was a lot of acrimony, though. We had to get through that. We did. If we are being honest, we did.
Yeah. I would say I'm not at a spot where I can say me and my ex talk like we're on a friendly basis. We don't. I don't know where the anonymity... No, it's not...
Enmity.
Yeah, that word. I don't know where that beef came from, but I guess it's the fact that you had, you know, when you intertwine your lives.
It was a split. Yes.
It's like both of you have to be angry and get over your anger.
Beyond your lives was your brand. Like you guys, your brand was...
Yeah, I had a brand before. I'll be very honest. I had a brand before and my brand was bigger than hers.
Yeah.
Before we started dating. But the fact that we came together, it grew her brand and then we grew together.
And also... like you're saying, it grew her brand, but let's be honest, when it comes to the whole family life, the wife life, the female brand then begins to outpace the male brand.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate, but that's the truth.
Yeah.
It's just the truth.
It's the truth. I would say we haven't gotten to a place where we can actually sit down and have a conversation like, how the kids, how's your life? How are you doing? You know, I don't know if it takes maturity.
Oh, it does take a level of maturity.
It takes a lot of maturity.
Yes.
On the female side.
On the female side, yeah. Because on my side, I'm the one who always like I'm always the one reaching out, like, hey, we need to. It's important for the kids that when
actually you also see that there's no
beef.
enmity between us, bro.
There's no beef because you see, kids can sense.
Yes.
Kids can sense that stuff. And for
I
a
don't know
lot
why
of
you're
women,
elongating
and for a
your
lot
neck.
of women, I'll say it for a lot of babes actually punish you for walking away if you walk. They punish you for that. And they make sure the kids know.
Okay.
Church.
No, okay, I won't argue. At this point in time, I'm not arguing. But
Can I be
I'm
honest
just,
with you? Can I
but
be
I'm
honest with
just
you?
saying.
The only reason you and I are as far removed from where we were, where we were constantly fighting, where you didn't want to talk to me,
Of course.
you used to punish me.
No.
When I'd be dating someone different, and she knew they weren't going to last more than 2 weeks. I used to be punished, Buan. I used to be punished.
Me.
The reason is because, and I always say this, because anyone that knows Siju knows, this will sound bad when it comes up, but she is not exactly entirely a typical woman. In the sense that most women are not logical, you are. And it took a year of me panel beating logic. And then for you, now here's the weird thing. You are to teach me the emotional aspect of things. Kweli wrong.
Not true. Then.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Also, I had to learn you don't, again, I'm going on a tangent. I had to
Yes.
learn also, don't have your women around
Your kids.
her and the children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to do that as a filter, where it's like, honestly, I used to do that like, you've been here for more than 2 weeks. Surprise, I have kids and she's here. Surprise. How are you going to deal with that? And they used to filter themselves out without realizing it was doing damage.
It was
so
doing
you had to
damage.
teach me
Yeah.
the emotional aspect, and I had to teach you the logical aspect.
Yeah.
There was no logic to it, but still arguing about that.
I actually have a rule for that, and I've talked to my ex about it. I have one rule: don't introduce my kids to men I don't know. That's my rule.
Yeah.
If I hear some uncle who from their mouth and I don't know that
The
man,
uncle, yeah.
please, we're going to have trouble.
Okay, so reverse that situation. Now just because he's brought it up, would you introduce them to?
That nobody I have been with since
It's
the
then,
breakup has met my kids.
In
No,
my defense, my children are a blessing.
Yes, but they're not everybody's blessing.
I am a blessing. So, in order for the blessing that is me to come into fruition in your life, you must experience it in its full bloom. That's bullshit. I used to make some mistakes. It's bullshit.
Yeah,
I have learned.
Okay.
I've learned.
And I think for me, the biggest learning curve has been that if you wait to learn from your own experiences, you're going to fuck up a lot.
A lot more, yeah.
You'd rather learn from other people's experiences. Like breaking up when you have kiddos is nothing new. It's just, to me, it felt new because I was so out there. I'm a brand.
Okay.
I was putting out videos. By the time we had put the YouTube channel on private, we had 14 million lifetime views. So you can imagine, for me, it was crazy. I'd walk into that's actually one of the reasons I stayed behind in Malindi for almost a year plus. I didn't want to be walking around in Nairobi, minding my own business and doing my stuff and just constantly being reminded, hey, where are the kids?
Yeah.
Where is your person? Because as far from Nairobi as Malindi is, I remember at some point I used to go to the supermarket and just random aunties hey, I know you. And I'll be like, okay, now I'm waiting for the next question is what happened.
Yeah.
And I don't need to explain myself to everybody. That's my life. Let me deal with my life. You deal with yours.
I like how you've addressed it, because I did see a lot of anger directed at you.
Yeah, there was a lot of misplaced anger. I think for me, and we're talking about this with you as well. Before we were rolling, I was saying the anger is misplaced because a lot of people project. People live vicariously through you when you start sharing your life. So there are guys who see themselves in you.
You are goals.
Yeah, I've been doing couple goals. I'm some people, I realized after the breakup that some people don't know how to be loved. So they depend on content creators like us to see, okay, I'm supposed to be looked at like this. I'm supposed to be taken out like that.
Like that, yeah.
I'm supposed to be held like this. So a lot of them, and I would get this from guys like, bro, I watch your channel because my girlfriend makes me watch it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
They'll come up to me and tell me stuff like that. So now when we broke up, There's same babes who used to compare the boyfriends to
Who
me.
used to idolize you?
Yeah. Like
Say it
you-
like it is. They used to idolize
The women
you.
who idolize me now became my ops. And the dudes who were compared to me now be like, now we have a chance to beat this nigga.
Yes.
Yo, ulifanya nini? Yeah. So I understand.
Yeah.
I don't accept it, but I understand where that's from.
Okay.
A lot of people, our idea of love is actually a collection of things we've read in novels, things we've watched
Watched
on
in
telly,
movies, yeah.
and those social media influencers have shown us, like, that bouquet of rose flowers with the 1,000 bulbs. Yeah, it's just now
Yeah.
one person does it now every day,
Yeah.
every week someone's. Because that's how we don't know how to be loved until someone shows
That's
us
how to be loved.
this is how you should be
Yeah.
loved.
And it's not even necessarily that it's satisfying. It's simply that.
To be seen.
Yeah.
I just want to be seen like
Also,
I have a man.
saw it. It made me feel something. So replicate it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll feel something.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. So you're on social media and now you're co-parenting. Have you, are your kids in the limelight still? Because previously they were, and I mean, everybody knew them.
Yeah.
But have they stepped back now? Have you stepped back from that?
I mean, you see, for me, the whole premise of being on social media and having a parenting and lifestyle channel was to show people how to raise their kids and share my experience as a young parent.
Yeah.
That was the premise of the YouTube channel. The side shows apparently made it more popular. Like this, it's a couples channel. It wasn't a couples channel. It was primarily a parenting and lifestyle channel. So the parenting has never stopped.
Even off social media.
Just because
Yeah.
two people kosana doesn't mean, and this, I used to say that a lot. Just because you've changed doesn't mean the plan has changed. If this ship was sailing in this direction and you decide to jump off the ship, it's not going to stop and turn back for you. It's going. So me, my goals and my ambitions haven't changed. It's just my relationship
Yeah,
status
that's changed,
changed.
yeah.
My status as a dad hasn't. It's just that I'm not as present as I would love to be.
Okay.
And now I have to figure out, how do I make it better for my kids with this extra time on my hand? Yeah.
Okay. So is your presence, you weren't married, so did you have to go the legal route of setting an agreement, a legal agreement, or was it a conversation? Because that's where most people get stuck.
I would say, first, I think your previous question.
Okay.
Yes, I still share my kids, but not as much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mostly on my stories, because those are things that expire. I feel like for kids, they do deserve some level of privacy. And I don't want what I do as a dad and what their mother does as a mom to come back to them. We live separate lives. We are pursuing separate things. The only thing we have in common
Is the
that
children.
parenting. We're parenting the same kids.
Yeah.
That's one. So that's for clarity. When your next
Yeah,
question.
my next question was on. Sorry, I've lost the train of thought. I was listening to you so much.
Yeah.
Me, I have a few questions. Let me jump right in. So you've said something that has really piqued my interest, that you stepped into a situation and realized she has children and you are like, yo, I'm yende, right?
Kinda.
Is the father of those children still involved?
Yes. That's now co-parenting. That's now how I experience co-parenting, because I'm not going to date someone and pick the responsibility of another man. I like accountability. So the fact that I dated her, the only reason I ended up with her long-term on a serious thing is because I wasn't picking up responsibility
Responsibilities.
for the child that's not mine. There's a guy still paying school fees, a guy still buying clothes. All I have to take care of is my kids and my responsibility. Yeah.
Have you guys met?
Yeah, we have.
Yo, how was that shit, bro?
I mean, he
How
used to
was that
come.
shit?
He used to come pick his toy. It's to me, it's respectful because I respect the fact that you can have differences with someone, but not deviate from your commitment.
Like you
and
said, the
your
ship
role.
is still.
The ship is still just because you've changed doesn't mean the plans have changed. So things are still going. Yeah. So
Nice.
that's something that I met with him couple of times. We never really sat down. Like, so, I mean, what do you talk about? We don't sit down and chat. Let's have a drink and over what? What are we discussing?
Yeah.
Was there any insecurity on either party's side? And I'll tell you why I'm asking this. You're Rama. You have status. You have a name out there. You're doing well for yourself. Even if he's doing well for himself, you have status.
Yeah.
So ultimately, there's usually that insecurity between men where it becomes a pissing contest where someone says, lazima nijitambulishe. I have to come and piss over here. I mark my territory. Did that ever happen?
You see, for me, and I think one of the reasons why I ended up in a situation where a breakup was necessary is I've never been afraid of losing women. I've never been afraid of fumbling bodies, bro.
No homo. You're a handsome guy. There's some niggas, bro. Shit ain't the same, bro.
I mean, I'll put it down. Like, if you want to go, you can go. I'd rather be stressed by money than babes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the insecurity for me was never there. I would say the insecurity was with
Him.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I understand why.
No. Explain it.
I didn't know
Okay.
until it was too late that some of the things that were happening out of that insecurity.
Okay.
Like.
What do you mean explain? We've been out together and you've seen women approach
No,
you.
I was not talking to you. No, I was talking to Rama. Okay.
I mean, like, the insecurity to me, like, you see, like, if right now, if we go out, the three of us, and we go to any club at night, the chances of more than 3 fine babes saying hi to me are very high.
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
They're very high. And it could be people who used to watch the channel. It could be people who love my jokes because I tweet a lot of jokes. It could be
people who want your babies. Bro.
Yeah.
Why are we being humble?
Could be anything. But I don't overthink it.
Yeah, it's just...
But you see, sometimes you're with babes who like, who's that? But in that wear mask, I won't ask. But it'll eat you up.
that's what you're talking about.
It'll eat you up over time.
Okay.
So you start, the trust starts eroding.
Through no fault of your own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a lack of communication.
And you see babes always saying, men can't communicate. Women don't communicate.
Women don't communicate.
Women
and they punish men who communicate.
Okay.
You do not communicate as babes.
We don't say what is on our
You
mind.
just react. You think reacting is communicating.
Although I will give Kenyan babes something. Kenyan men also, we're not the best at communication, and I'll tell you why.
That's why we get along with Kenyan babes. See, we were made for each other. We were made for each other.
Talk.
Fair point.
Oh my
We
God.
were made for each other.
Like everybody wants everybody to be a mind reader, and it's...
Let me tell you, the one thing I've put my foot down on is I'm not gonna read someone's mind.
Yeah.
When I see babes nowadays, if he wanted to, he would have. But if you don't tell me, we'll just break up. Itaisha tu kama sabuni ya lodging. Itaisha tu. If you want something, you tell me.
That.
Okay.
If you want something, you tell me. If you wait for me to be a mind reader, so you say I give you material to go and post on IG. He gets me. He gets me. Bro, I don't get you. Tell me what you want.
Okay.
I like that.
I remembered what I had asked. So when it came to the split, was there a legal agreement or was it a conversation?
Now is when we're getting into the legal stuff.
Okay.
Because we have to both be responsible for those kids. And we're both working people. So I'm investing my emotions there just as much as she is. They're living with her, but at some point I'd love them to come live with me. So we kind of have to figure how
what it
that
looks
is
like,
going to work. Like if it's the cost of living, if it's school fees, if it's co-curricular activities, interests, how are we handling that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So child support, basically.
Child support, it's not, child support, people think of child support as just money. It's not just money.
No.
Yeah, if I didn't care about these kids, by the way, kwa deadbeat ni cheap, by the way. Do you know how cheap it is to be a deadbeat?
It spends
Just
nothing.
walk away and unapotea tu mitini. Think I'd care. Ati, Rama doesn't take care of his kids. You think I care?
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids. Who are you? Who are you? Watoto watamea kama bangi iko tu.
Watarudi tu, wanatafuta baba yao.
By the way, being a deadbeat is so cheap. Guys don't get it.
Yeah.
Do you know it takes effort to actually say?
Actually, guys get it. Women don't get it.
Yeah, women don't get
Women
it.
assume if you're not putting money on the table, then you add no value.
Yeah.
What women don't realize is at the end of the day, even just my presence, it takes a lot for me emotionally, mentally, just to be here. I can give you the money, which is equally as cheap, believe it or not. I can give you the money and I vanish.
Yeah, I could have just vamoosed.
Yeah.
Like every weekend I'm in Naivasha with
As long as
25-year-olds.
school fees paid, everything is done. What's the problem?
You know, I just shuffled my 25-year-olds today. I'm in
deck of
Watamo with a 25-year-old. Next week I'm in Malindi with a 25-year-old.
May God bless you.
Naivasha, you know. But that's not how I spend my money. I actually say, by the way, pesa ningepatia side chicks na unajua nowadays people want to be loved with money. I don't give it to my kids. And I take care of them. And that's taken lightly. But to me, even that chipping in terms of responsibility is a way for me to also have a voice in how my kids are raised.
Yes.
So I know I wouldn't have a voice if I just said, I'm just going to give time. It would never, no one would even allow. I don't think there's a babe who just says, I don't need your mom, you just show up. But at some point, there's going to be contempt. Atakudharau. She's going to treat you differently.
We had this debate with my co-host Sheila.
Shout out to Sheila.
Where she was saying, we just want your presence. And I laughed.
Stories are jabba.
Maze.
Mad. Stories are jabba.
I just want your
mad.
presence. Yeah, okay.
Even for a babe. Let me tell you, and I'm not saying this in a bad way. I don't know if it's just a Kenyan experience. Now I have a policy nowadays that, I get a lot of DMs and I can't meet everyone.
Kick them my way, bro.
I can't.
I have a lot of time on my hands.
I can't. And I'm not saying it in a bad way. That imagine if I had if 4 babes holler at you every week and you're taking all 4 babes out for dates.
You'd be skinny.
It'd be very skinny. An average date in Nairobi, like a proper experience, is like 4Gs to 5Gs. So imagine.
What the fuck are you dating, bro?
See, unaenda cocktails, unaenda dinner.
For why?
See,
Skiza.
Pelekana coffee peke.
Skiza. Apana. Not coffee. Why you say, you don't know? Not coffee. Coffee feels na kibao kwa gari. I've spent on fuel and the kibao.
Now,
my nigga.
Now you see the thing, this is a trick though. You can afford to do such shit because you have a moti. If you have a moti, you can spend 200 bob on a babe and she's like, at least he has a car. I'm a passenger princess.
Maze.
May I pull up in an Uber? Because the money that I could have bought a car with, I was spending, furnishing my house and doing. So I need to meet these babes. And they expect that if you want to meet them, you're going to take them somewhere decent. You guys are going to eat, you're going to chat.
Also because of the mystique of you being Rama. You're Ramzzy.
I'm Ramzzy.
How can you spend 1,000 bob?
How can Ramzzy spend a G on a babe like me?
Yeah, me babes know me, I'm cheap. Yeah. When I was javing, see, I was still going on dates. Unapata mtu kwa matatu, you tell her, listen, show me commitment, pay my fare.
Same. Sasa, mi naweza. But I would rather meet less people and enjoy better experiences. So, because I'm juggling a lot of stuff.
Yeah, right now, yes.
And for me, I don't lower my standards. I just look for more money. That's my policy. Instead of coming down, I just look for more chums.
My nigga.
Okay.
Me and that one have a lot in common. You say, you don't lower standards. You will lower those standards.
Okay.
And you see the thing about babes is babes have delulu for days. I tell you, when women go to the bathroom and they gas each other, babe, you look so hot. They come out thinking they can land any man they want. Some people slide in my DMs and I'm like, hey, I don't know. Okay. I don't want to be
Oh my God.
I don't want to be mean. But this delusion, if I had this confidence,
You'd conquer the world.
ningeingiza hata
I'd be married
Rihanna
to
box.
Bill Gates.
Ningeingiza Rihanna box. She's a billionaire, you know, she just spoils me. I'm a bouncing baby man also.
Okay. So hard question.
Yeah.
What are some of the hardest conversations you've had with the kids after this?
I would say it's explaining why I don't live with their mom anymore.
Okay.
It's very difficult to tell your kiddos, hey, when two people don't get along, you can't be in the same space because one of you has to be accountable to why you don't get along. And a lot of people do not like accountability. Yeah.
Okay.
So I've had to explain to them like, hey, you know, first daddy lived, you had to get on a plane to get to his house. Secondly, okay, so I moved back to Nairobi. I live some distance away from them. I mean, it's like, I live like maybe 30 minutes, 30 minutes away. But to them, it's far.
It's fun. It's not the same house.
Because they're used to like, if I want this 15 minutes, if I want this 10 minutes, go here. You know, so explaining to kids why you don't live with their mom anymore has been, yeah.
But it's
And I know some of them, you know, sometimes they don't ask, but they'll hint at some things. And you'll be like, yeah, I know you miss my presence.
I tell you a difficult conversation I've had with my daughter. My daughter asks, Papa, not only why aren't you with mom? Why aren't you with mom? Who is now my wife? Huh? Who is she to us? That's a tough one.
Yeah.
That is a tough one.
But you have to make some decisions.
Yeah.
It's I think necessary for me, and I don't know if we'll get there, but for me, I had to make that call. Either I stay here as a shell of myself, or I go live alone and do my own thing, and I become a better dad.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling myself eroding away when you were a thing. I was feeling myself eroding away. And I can't explain, you know, some concepts to kids are not, you won't get it until you get it. You know, like I can't explain to a kiddo what it feels like to walk on eggshells for the majority of time and, you know, have those sparkly moments in between, but a majority of the time it's like walking on eggshells. Like that feeling, I can't explain it to a kid.
Yeah.
So I would rather just say, I work here. It takes a long time. And you guys live closer to school and mommy's house. The rest of the stuff, they'll join the dots, or I'll explain to them when they're old enough to grasp. Because then you don't want to give them too much information that they can't use.
Yeah.
Let me squeeze in one last one. With regards to your family, how did the greater family, your parents, your siblings, your cousins, how did they react to the situation?
For me, because I was dating a divorcee, it was my first time going through a breakup where kids are involved. Her, it was a second time.
So alisema tu,
so me nilisema, go explain to your folks in your family what happened. Me, I'll handle my family. Because, you know, I was super angry. I was very upset. I was like, I thought you learned something the first time. You know.
Ultimately, bro, I respect, you know, I'm trying to keep a straight face. I respect the fact that you have been, and I've told you this even off, like when we were away from the cameras, I respect how you handled everything. I don't know the nitty-gritties and all, but I do genuinely respect how you handled everything. It was an example of a mature breakup, regardless of the pain, regardless of how complicated things got.
Yeah.
So, I'll say it on camera. Your bouquet, bro.
Thank you.
Genuinely, I respect how you handled everything.
Thank you. I walked off with Grace, even though I wasn't dating Grace. Acha nikwambie tu kweli. Temptation ya kuchoma ilikuwa big, but my situation, and you know, like when going into trying therapy and speaking to people, you know, there's one thing that really stopped me from chomai. I realized that with men, if you are not a good man, it's your fault.
Yes.
Even if things are happening to you around you that are not making you a good man. If you break up with a woman, it's your fault. If a woman cheats, it's your fault.
It's your fault. Yeah.
So all accountability
is on you.
It's on me. So I couldn't just go on social media and everywhere and start talking about, fuck that bitch. That's still your son's
mother of your kid.
So you have to move with some level of respect. Like at the bare minimum, there's just unaonanga venye maji ya tanki inakuanga imejaa mpaka juu, alafu kuna kuanga na pali ikifika, the pump can no longer take the water up. That was the respect I was left with. Okay. But at least this is enough for me to respect her as a mother. Yeah.
Yo, bro, again, the way you've described that, it just enhances the respect.
Yeah.
Okay. Final question.
Yeah.
What is your best memory? Like, what is the best thing that has happened since all this came out?
Since we broke up?
Yeah, since you broke up, since you moved out, since...
Spending money on myself. My gosh, I had missed that stuff, manze.
I was hoping you'd say getting to spend time with bitches.
I was already used to women before. I told you I dropped my hose for one babe.
Now you got new hoes.
Now I'm still recruiting.
Yeah.
Team, but I'm not build team. We're in a rebuilding era,
Okay.
I'm a 10 hard
Too many
right
applications.
now.
Too many applications.
I'm
I'm
a 10
vetting. I'm the
10
vetting
hard.
officer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you, Chim. Thank you, Rama, for telling us your story. And this has been the Crib Sheet.
Too much application.
Of my emotions,
Yeah.
so I'm trying to channel. I'm trying to channel my emotions.
Okay.